Hey guys, Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at Amius the Lunar Archon on rotation 4. I was able to get the keys last night and beat it pretty quickly. I was surprised by how quickly I managed to beat it this rotation. So we're going to be taking a look at the team that I have used. Naturally, of course, it contains Whisper. You know, the church is rising. If you haven't joined the church, get yourself a Whisper, it's so good. And we'll also have a look at different strategies you can use. Now, getting to Amius this rotation is relatively quick. You can do it by about day 3. The main one that people will struggle with is this double boss down here because it is finite hard. Now, the way that I beat this was to just bring Zenogre, who's a very big multi-hitter, and then AoE it down and then try to break the shield as quickly as possible to get a decreased attack. I was using Tyre for a heal reduction just to speed up the process. Obviously, I've got some 6-star awakened champions here. You'll just have to scale it backwards, but this one will be the hardest one, but I don't think it's too difficult if you just use some of the epics you have available to you. Could absolutely substitute in a Fenshi and put a decreased speed on the boss, for example. The Iragoth is fine. Just almost use his minions to get a free reset for killing Fire Knight. In this instance, the actual second boss will help you kill the Fire Knight, which is actually great. The other bosses are not too bad. This one is pretty straightforward, Cobble Market. And then this one was just kind of like a slow and steady race using Newt's A3. So there is now kind of 2 ways that we've all settled on to beat Amius the Lunar Archon. There's the rapid way. There is the way where you kill it extremely fast. Try to kill it in his base form before he kind of takes a turn. That's kind of like the one-shot method. The other method is just brimstone it down. That seems to be the easiest and most straightforward way people can do it. Find a legendary champion with Brimstone, put it on the champion, and just try to out-survive him and time it with the right kind of heal reduction. Because Brimstone will do more damage than the boss can heal. You just have to make sure that the Brimstone activates whilst he's not in his alternate form. That can be the time-consuming way. Now we can see that, as I thought when I predicted, when I was looking ahead of the schedule in my video on Sintranos Rotation 4, one-shot Jorgid, 2 turns. I said it could happen, and it's already happened. We've got a couple of others here with Rathalos and Taras. Many people using Mikages, Turvolds. There is a Whisper team here. Bright has put 1 Whisper, not the same team as my team. I am down here on number 10. This is the team I'm going to be showing you. Double Whisper. The church is rising. You know, of course, I've got 2 Whispers. I can't just have one. You know what I'm like here. You know, as the predominant acolyte, lord, leader of the Church of Whisper, one must have 2 Whispers here. So we're going to be looking at the team that I've used and how I've used Mikage to great effect. Because you've got to remember, mythical champions do some strange stuff with Amius, and you probably don't realize it because many people, like myself included, you might have 1 or 2 mythical champions. It's only if you've really spent a lot of money would you have any more. So these are the kind of teams you can use. This is the quick, rapid way. You kill it really, really, really fast. Using someone like Turvold, ally attackers, very strong big hitters. Maybe you can time a Rathalos 5 hit at the right time and absolutely annihilate it very quickly. That is strategy 1. Now, strategy 2 is you HB burn it down and you use Brimstone. So that would be playing around his mechanics to try and stay alive and keep yourself alive. Normally what you will do is you will bring buffs on your team to force the boss in his alternate form to use his A2 and A3, so you take less A1s, and then you just have to kill him with Brimstone and manage your decreased attack and heal reductions properly. You still absolutely need to bring a block debuffs. So firstly, let me show you how I beat this with my nuke strategy here with my double Whisper. Now, I don't have a Jorgid, I don't have a Taras, so those things limited my ability to one-shot it. But what we've got here is Lady Mikage. The main thing you have to remember is when he uses his A3 on the base form, Rampant Chaos, he will force mythical champions to change form. So that is a big deal, because what that basically means is that if you want to have your champion on alternate form, he will push them over there. But if you want to keep them on base form, you won't be able to do it. So you need to be careful of this usage. He will also do this on Maniacal Bedlam, which is his alternate form. So that is the interaction with the mythical champions. Now, what we really need to do to set this up is we need the Whispers to have weaken on the target so we can utilize their A2. And we also need to decrease defense on the target so that we can do the A3 into the A2. Because Whisper is going to do an extra turn if she's attacking a decreased defense and weaken. And she will ignore defense on any target with weaken. That's where we're getting our true damage from. Now, we're using Alatri in here just to keep the team alive. These are protected buffs, so the boss cannot switch them from the positive to the negative. When it's a protected form, the boss can't touch it. So hopefully we don't ever get into that alternate form, which is, you know, where it would really matter. But actually, he's just great from an increased defense, a shield in, a secondary block debuffs. You know, it's just a very nice sort of support champion here. And we're using Riho because Riho perfectly sets up the Whispers. You know, pretty good. We get an extra heal as well. But what I actually was struggling with originally with this team was trying to get it into a situation where I could actually keep the debuffs on the target for any length of time, because the boss on his Lunar Storm is going to decrease the duration of all of the debuffs on Amius. So even though Riho puts decreased defense and weaken on the boss for 2 turns, once he uses this Lunar Storm, it kind of goes off pretty quickly, which is really frustrating. And of course, the other problem is then if you don't open with his A2, which is what you want to do, he will open with his A3 and then cleanse it afterwards. The A3 is a problem because you need the block debuffs up, and then it's just kind of like the turn meter rotation in the way that it's going to work, because his A3 will essentially convert all of the debuffs on him to positive forms, which we don't want either. So let me take you into this fight. It does take a few attempts to get the right setup. We do need a bit of RNG on the Whispers as well. So we're going to open with the A1 here. We're just going to open with the A2, because what we want is the Whisper ideally to get counterattacked. We want her to counterattack the boss. Obviously, if she dies, we just restart, because what we need the Whisper to do is to reapply the Weaken, because the Weaken's going to drop here. We want to counterattack to reapply the Weaken. Then we can start doing some damage to the boss in this instance here, which is great. We actually got an extra turn here, which is ideal because we want to try and cycle back as much as we can. Then we're going to heal, which is great here, and we're going to put a shield up to basically reduce the amount of damage we're going to take. Now, in the next turn, we're going to get Metamorph back. Unfortunately, we got a Cycle of Magic proc, which is not ideal. That's going to really affect us a little bit, but hopefully we can maintain this. The boss has got so many buffs up, we can get rid of all these debuffs on us, and then we can just probably kill it. It doesn't really matter if we do some damage in this form, because we won't kill it in this form. You can't afford to kill it in this form, but you can do some damage to it in this form if you want to just make sure that you get it close to death on its transition. Our 6-star Whisper tanked that like a very strong tank that she is. So hopefully here now we don't want to do too much damage. So we're just going to extend buffs. Hopefully we don't kill it. We don't want to kill it. Transform back in. It's going to metamorph us, which is great because we can hopefully cleanse if we have enough turns. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we can finish it off with our Whispers here. And the boss is dead. And that is how you beat it with double Whisper. Now, I've done it in 20 turns. I did it in 33 turns there. Doesn't matter if you transform it around. We just got to kill it. Obviously, having a 6-star Whisper truly helps to tank the boss. 5-star Whispers, these are very high ascended champions. So that is how I beat it. I got lots of single target damage and I killed it very quickly using Mikage's ally attack to just boost it down. Now, the Jorgid strategy here is going to be very much a ally attack, try and kill it as quickly as you can. You're going to roll the RNG of Jorgid because you need his passive and his A1 to hit multiple times. You can do it the Brimstone way. Now, the Brimstone way, the way that it works is you put Brimstone on the boss. That's your damage source. That's how you kill the boss. Then you just manage your life by healing. And what you will normally do is bring 2 buffs that the boss can switch to negative effects. The best ones are like increase attack, increase crit rate, increase crit damage, because those kind of debuffs don't really affect you. You don't really care if you lose some crit rate because you're not killing it by doing damage. You're killing it by doing Brimstone. So really what you want to do is kind of bring those strong buffs like increase attack that don't affect you negatively. Don't bring things like continuous heals, because that will turn to heal reduction. You don't want that. Don't bring things like increased defense. That becomes decreased defense. Strengthen becomes weaken. Avoid the buffs that make you stay alive because they will make you not stay alive. And then all you're going to do is, if you can, try and bring a heal reduction. I think the best option for this is probably going to be someone like a Tyre or a Kantra. But Kantra's debuffs are very difficult, or a Manaya if you had her built from previous rotation. You can bring a heal reduction and then just bring a very high awakened legendary champion. It doesn't even matter if they're the best or the worst for what they do. As many stars as you can, with as many, so you can get as much consistency from your Brimstone as you can. And then it's all about waiting for the right moment. You just got to be careful when he transitions. You need to almost have decreased attack up or heal reduction so he can't heal off his Hay 2. The big heal from the boss is the Lunar Storm. So as long as you have heal reduction on for the Lunar Storm, then he can't heal. The Brimstone will activate and then he will die, and that is how you beat it. You won't see those teams on this fast leaderboard because these are very quick kills. But there is so many different options available to you right now. You probably don't need to go the Brimstone route. If you have Rathalos with a 4-star, it's a great DPS option. You can see here people are using things like Ninja to help kill the boss quickly as well if you have him. Chronum probably is a very good one if he can be used. He's in this rotation. You could possibly use Chronum. So he's a great option. Potentially Turvold, a very strong nuker, which is quite crazy. We'll have to see how it develops. My clan will start beating it. But if you've got Whisper, I think Whisper will kill it very quickly. if you can keep her alive and set her up, which is what I did here. So that was my team. The fastest I've done it so far, I'm in the global leaderboards, is 20 turns, double Whisper, Alatrian. Now let me just show you the quick damage builds. I will say my Whispers are very, very strong. So that is something to keep in mind. My builds for the Whisper are very strong. Now the Riho is overcapped on accuracy because I use her in Shogun. That's why she's super fast. She does not need to be this fast. If anything, she was too fast. You want to make sure that she can go just before the Whispers go. But because of the team that I have set up for Shogun Grove, this is the build I use there. In terms of Alatrian, he's just a support champion. If anything, he could have been replaced. He's built for damage in a sort of a weird way he's built in my Nightmare Hydra team, so that's why he's this fast. Again, he doesn't need to be this fast. It's just that he is for the other content. Mikage, I have her built full damage for Hydra, but again, she can just be a support ally attacker. This is a weird build. Like, this is a damage build. It doesn't need to be this way. You can build her any way you want. The main stars of the show, Whisper, these builds are nuts, okay? I'm accepting. Everyone in comments could be like, oh, would it be nice to have a Whisper this strong? We've got 8,000 attack, 180 speed, 294% crit damage. Like I mentioned, you don't need more than 70% crit rate, so that's fine. And then finally, we have the second Whisper here, my 4-star Whisper, my 5-star Whisper now, just got her to 5-star. She is at 7.5k attack, 82% crit rate, a little bit overcapped, 335% crit damage. I think this might be crit rate gloves, or she's just picked up crit rate from somewhere. I'm not really sure where. But she's probably going to have to be rebuilt soon because she's currently holding my best boots on my account, which is not great. Not great at all. But there you go, guys. That is Amius the Lunar Archon. I think, honestly, it was the easiest kill. I killed it in about 4 attempts last night when I was trying it. This rotation feels like the most flexible for players in terms of all different options. You can Brimstone it. You can one-shot it with Turvold, with Jorgid. You could do it with a Chronum Ninja combo. You can do Rathalos. You can do Whispers. I think there's so many options here. I think this one will be a lot easier for people to kill. It is just a shame that we can't, finish the Marius mission, which is going to be all the way towards the end. It was the last mission for this rotation. Maybe it'll take us that long and we'll come back to it. Who knows? We'll have to see. Let me know, guys, in the comments below how you're finding Amius. Have you got there yet? Have you beaten it? Are you still stuck on another boss or another wave on the way to get your keys? I will now be taking my sort of adventures into Soul Cross, preparing for the free regearing event, which should take place in about 9 days, I believe. I think it's going to be on towards the end of week 2. So I'm going to hopefully get as far as I can into Soul Cross without actually having to spend silver, and then just wait for that regearing event and finish off the rest of it. I might try to finish this rotation for the first time because I haven't done a previous one, so we'll see how that goes. But there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.